Hello everyone, welcome to the Laravel series, and today we will see how to connect database with Laravel. I'll be using MySQL, and you can use any other platform for MySQL. I am using here PHP So to connect the database, we first need the file called .env. So I'll search for the file .env in my project. So as you can see in this file, there are several parameters defined like app name, env, db connection. This is what we require for db connection. As you can see, these are called environment variables. Environment variables are basically the variables which are set to set up the environment of your app. So we are setting the environment of the DB using this environment variable. So the very first environment variable written is DB underscore connection, in which you will write which connection to use. So currently we are using MySQL. Next is DB host. DB host is on which your local host is working. So your local host is basically working on 127.0.0.1. Next is DB port. This is the port which you have in XAMPP. So my SQL server is running on this port 3306. So I'll be writing here 3306. Then is the database name. So you must have this database in your PHP MyAdmin. So I'll create one new database here. Let's say the name is Laravel only. I'll create this database. Yes, the database, as you can see, is created. And the same name you have to give here in db underscore database. And the username is always root, as you can check also. If I go to the home page, it says user at localhost. That means root. So the username is root and password is null for MySQL. If you have set some password for this interface, you can always write the password here. But for now, I don't have any password, so I'll keep it as blank. So this is the env file which sets the configuration of your database. The next thing is I'll just show you one more file that is known as database.php. You can find inside config folder. In database.php, you can check they have written default and then they have given environment and then DB connection, and the DB connection is MySQL. So the meaning of this line is this DB connection is taken from this env file which we have set to MySQL. So if this env environment variable is set, then it will take that value. Otherwise, if it is not set, it will by default take MySQL, which you are providing as a second argument. So this is how it will take whether your database is MySQL or Postgres or whatever other database you are using. So these are the different connections. You can use SQLite, MySQL, PGSQL, SQL SRV. So you can use all these types of my databases. We are using MySQL. So as you can see here, MySQL host, port, everything is mentioned. So you don't need to mention the details here because every detail will be taken from .env file. Isn't it good? So let's move forward. We just need this env file and we need a database here which we have created. The next thing which I'll do to check whether the connection has been made or not. So we will just go inside our folder, that is cd. It's Laravel app. So inside this, I'll run a simple command called php artisan serve, my mistake, php artisan migrate. So this has given me the output migration table created successfully. So as you can see, we have this create users table, then we have failed jobs table. Where is this coming from? So let's see our database. I'll just refresh this phpMyAdmin page. And if you check in this Laravel database, I have a table called users as well as I have a table called failed jobs. So these are basically the by default configurations or tables which are provided in the project. As you can see, there are several different columns: ID, name, email verified at, and so on. So that means there are some migration files which are already created in my project. Isn't it cool? So let's see the project. If I open this and if I search for migration files, you can search the migration files in database folder, as this is your database folder. And then inside migrations folder, you can check there are two migration files already there. So if I go inside it, you can check that there is some code written here, and this is all about the columns. These are the columns: name, email, password, which we can see in the database also. So this is how your tables are created. So your connection is set up, and let's go to another part of this video. Thank you so much.